My name's Marcus Holloway. I'm 54 years old, and 8 weeks ago, I handed my son the keys to a $20,000 car. He stared at it, didn't smile, didn't thank me, just tilted his head and said, "Is that it?" Those 3 words didn't just sting, they burned a hole straight through 22 years of sacrifice. But here's what he didn't know. His name, already typed into the title. One signature away from being permanent. One sentence away from being erased. If you've ever given everything to someone who spit it back in your face, hit that like button, drop a comment, and tell me where you're from. Because what I did next, even I didn't see coming. Let me take you back to where it all started. Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. Terminal D. I'm standing in the parking garage with a silver 2021 Honda Accord behind me. Midnight blue ribbon tied across the hood like something out of a commercial. I felt ridiculous. A grown man, 54 years old, waiting with a bow on a car like it's Christmas morning. But this wasn't just a car. This was 22 years of guilt wrapped in metal and leather. See, I raised my son Landon alone. His mother, my wife Claire, died when he was 2. Aneurysm. No warning. One day she was here. The next she wasn't. And I became both parents overnight. I worked double shifts at the freight yard. Missed recitals. Missed games. Missed birthdays. I told myself it was temporary. That once I climbed out of the debt, once I got stable, I'd make it up to him. But kids don't wait for you to get stable. They grow up while you're working. Landon graduated college 3 years ago. Moved to Los Angeles the week after. Got some marketing job I still don't fully understand. And suddenly, the kid I raised, he was gone. We talked maybe twice a month. Short calls. Polite. Distant. Like I was an obligation. So when he texted me last spring saying he'd be flying back to Dallas for a wedding, I saw my shot. I saved for 6 months. Sold my motorcycle. Cleared out what was left in Claire's old savings account. $20,000. Enough for a clean, reliable car. Something safe. Something that said, "I'm still your father. I still care." I wanted him to feel seen. I wanted to heal what I broke. So there I was, waiting at arrivals. Heart pounding like a teenager asking someone to prom. And then I saw him. Landon walked out in a designer hoodie, AirPods in, rolling a hard-shell suitcase like he just got off a flight from Milan. He spotted me. Gave a half smile. No wave. We hugged. It lasted maybe 2 seconds. His arms barely touched my back. "Hey, Dad." "Hey, son. Good flight." "Fine." That's all I got. We walked to the garage in silence. I tried to fill the air with small talk. Asked about work, the weather in LA, if he was seeing anyone. One-word answers. The whole time. And then we got to the car. I stopped in front of it. Pointed at the bow. Surprise. He looked at the Accord. Then at me. Then back at the car. No smile. No shock. Just this smirk. Like I'd just shown him a knockoff watch. And then he said it. "That's it." I felt my chest tighten. "What do you mean, that's it?" He shrugged. Pulled out his phone. "I mean, it's a Honda, Dad. I thought you were gonna go bigger. You know, something with some style." I stood there. Keys still in my hand. Smile frozen on my face like a mask that didn't fit anymore. "It's paid off, Landon. No loans. Clean title. Safe. Reliable." "Yeah, I see that." He didn't even look at me when he said it. Just opened the driver's door. Tossed his bag in the back. "Thanks, I guess." That pause, that moment, was when something inside me cracked. But that reaction wasn't the first red flag that day. And it definitely wasn't the last. Ever given your all to someone who made you regret it? Drop a yes in the comments if you've been there. I suggested dinner. The Rustic Grill. Small Texas-style spot off Highway 75. The kind of place with red leather booths, checkered tablecloths, and a jukebox that still plays Waylon Jennings. The kind of place Claire and I used to take Landon when he was little. I thought maybe food would soften him. Maybe nostalgia would crack through whatever wall he'd built. I was wrong. We sat down. Ordered. I got the chicken fried steak. He got a Caesar salad. Not hungry. I ate on the plane. Of course he did. I tried again. Asked about work. His apartment. If he liked LA. Short answers. Eyes on his phone the whole time. And then his phone rang. He didn't excuse himself. Didn't apologize. Just answered it right there at the table. Yeah, babe. No, I'm still in Dallas. Yeah, with my dad. He said it like I wasn't sitting 2 feet away. What? Oh, the car? Yeah, he got me a Honda. Pause. Then he laughed. Not a polite laugh. A mocking one. I know, right? I told him I didn't need it. Especially since your dad's already talking about hooking me up with that BMW. My fork stopped halfway to my mouth. He kept talking. Yeah, the 5 Series. Black on black. Way cleaner than this thing. The waitress, mid-40s, kind eyes, was refilling waters at the next table. She glanced over. Our eyes met for half a second. She heard him, and I knew she felt sorry for me. That's when it hit. Not anger. Not yet. Humiliation. I was invisible. Landon hung up. Didn't acknowledge what he'd just said. Just scrolled through Instagram while I sat there, staring at my plate like it had answers. I thought about Claire. About the will she left behind. She'd set up a small financial trust for Landon, about $15,000, meant to help him after college. Something to get him started. But she'd written one line I never forgot. Let him manage it responsibly. Let him prove he understands sacrifice. He burned through it in 6 months. New clothes. Trips to Vegas. Bottle service with friends I never met. When I asked him about it, he shrugged. Mom wanted me to live a little, Dad. Relax. And I let it go. Because I didn't want to fight. Because I thought maybe he'd grow out of it. But sitting there, watching him smirk at his phone, I realized something. This wasn't arrogance. It was strategy. He didn't see me as his father. He saw me as a wallet, a backup plan. And the $20,000 car? It wasn't a gift to him. It was an inconvenience. I told you to just send money next time, he said suddenly, not looking up. I gripped my coffee cup so hard I thought the ceramic might crack. What? Money. Cash. Venmo. Whatever. I don't need stuff, Dad. I need liquidity. Liquidity. That's the word he used. Like I was a business transaction. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. And then, crash. The waitress dropped a glass at the bar. It shattered across the floor. Ice and cola spreading everywhere. The whole diner went quiet for a second. And in that silence, I heard it. That sound. It felt like something inside me cracked too. I looked at Landon. He didn't even flinch. Still on his phone. And that's when I knew. This wasn't about a car. This was about control. About him testing how far he could push me. How much disrespect I'd swallow before I finally stood up. What I discovered later that night, back at my house alone, digging through old texts and emails, made me realize this had been building for years, and I'd been too blind to see it. Some say parents should forgive no matter what. Others say respect must be earned. What do you think? Drop your take below. I didn't sleep that night. Landon crashed in his old bedroom, didn't even say goodnight, and I sat in the kitchen with a bottle of whiskey I hadn't touched in 3 years. Claire's photo was on the mantel. Smiling. Hopeful. I kept replaying that dinner. The phone call. The smirk. The word liquidity. And something gnawed at me. A feeling I couldn't shake. So I did something I swore I'd never do. I opened my laptop. And I started digging. First, I checked our shared phone plan. Call logs. Text records. Landon had called me twice in the last 4 months. Both times asking for money. One was for rent. The other was an emergency car repair. I sent him $1,200 total. Then I opened his social media. Instagram. Public account. And there it was. Photo after photo. Rooftop bars in West Hollywood. Bottle service at clubs I couldn't even pronounce. Designer brands tagged in every caption. And then I saw her. His girlfriend. Victoria. Blonde. Polished. Every photo screaming money. One post from 3 weeks ago stopped me cold. It was a picture of Landon leaning against a black BMW 5 Series. Caption: Babe's early birthday gift from Daddy Blueheart Fire Upgrade SCN. I stared at that screen for 5 full minutes. He already had the car. The BMW his girlfriend's father bought him. He'd had it for weeks. Which meant, the Honda? It was never about needing a car. It was about seeing if I'd give it to him anyway. A test. A power move. I scrolled further. Another post. 2 months back. Him and Victoria at some charity gala in Beverly Hills. Comments flooded with heart emojis. Friends hyping him up. And then I saw one comment that made my blood run cold. From someone named Derek_Fontaine. Victoria's father, I assumed. Welcome to the family, son. You're one of us now. One of them. Not one of me. I kept scrolling. Then I found a group chat screenshot he'd posted as a joke. It was him and his LA friends. Someone had asked, "Yo, didn't your pops get you a car?" Landon's response, "Yeah, LOL. A Honda Accord. Bro really thought I'd drive that back to LA Skull." Another reply, "Oof. Boomer energy." Landon, "FR, I'll probably sell it or give it to my cousin or something. Not worth the hassle." I closed the laptop, sat back in my chair, and for the first time in 22 years, I didn't feel like his father. I felt like a fool. Claire's voice echoed in my head, the line from her will. Let him prove he understands sacrifice. He didn't. He never had. And I'd spent 2 decades making excuses for him. I looked at the title paperwork sitting on the counter. His name wasn't on it yet. I'd planned to add him in the morning. Make it official. But now I realized something. This wasn't about a car. This was about respect. About whether I was going to keep letting him treat me like an ATM with a heartbeat, or whether I was finally going to stand up. I picked up my phone, opened my notes app, and I started typing. A plan. Not out of revenge. Out of clarity. Because if Landon wanted to treat me like I was disposable, then he was about to learn what it felt like when I actually disappeared. What I did the next morning. Let's just say it set off a chain reaction nobody, not even me, was ready for. Some say parents should forgive no matter what. Others say respect must be earned. What do you think? Drop your answer below and hit subscribe if you want to see how this ends. The next morning, I woke up to pounding on my front door. Not knocking. Pounding. I checked my phone. 7:43 a.m. 12 missed calls from Landon. I opened the door, and he was livid. Face red. Jaw clenched. Eyes wild. "What the hell did you do?" I didn't flinch. "Good morning to you too, son. Don't sun me right now. You changed the title? You took my name off the car." I leaned against the doorframe. Calm. Too calm. "Your name was never on it, Landon. That's fraud. You can't just." Fraud. I let that word hang in the air for a second. Then I stepped aside. "Come in." He stormed past me, pacing my living room like a caged animal. I walked to the kitchen counter, picked up a folder I'd printed out that morning, and I handed it to him. "What's this?" "Open it." He did. Inside was a screenshot. From his group chat. The one where he laughed about selling the car. The one where he called me Boomer Energy. The one where he said I wasn't worth the hassle. His face went pale. "You went through my phone?" "No. You posted it online. Public account." Silence. "Fraud," I said quietly, "is pretending to love someone only for what they can give you." He stared at me. No comeback. No deflection. Just silence. "I gave you that car because I thought it would bring us closer," I continued. "But you didn't want closeness, Landon. You wanted cash. You wanted control. And when I didn't give you enough, you laughed at me behind my back." "Dad, I'm not finished." My voice didn't rise. It didn't crack. It was steady. Cold. "The car's mine now. The title's in my name. You want a vehicle? Ask Victoria's father. He seems more than happy to play daddy." Landon's jaw tightened. He threw the folder on the floor. "You're unbelievable. And you're entitled." He turned, stormed toward the door, then stopped. "You know what? You're right. I should have asked Derek. At least he doesn't guilt-trip me every time I ask for something. The door slammed. Tires screeched. And then, silence. I stood there in my living room, staring at the folder on the floor, waiting to feel victorious, waiting to feel something. But all I felt was empty. That night, around 9 p.m., there was another knock. This time softer. I opened the door. 2 police officers. My stomach dropped. Marcus Holloway? That's me. We got a call from a Landon Holloway. Says you're withholding property that belongs to him. Mind if we ask you a few questions? I nodded. Let them in. Explained the whole situation. Showed them the unsigned title. The screenshots. The timeline. One officer, a younger guy, took notes. The other one, older, mid-50s, just listened. And then he squinted at me. Wait, Marcus Holloway. You work freight out near Denton, right? I blinked. Yeah. Why? He smiled. Not big. Just recognizing. You helped me about 6 years ago. Traffic stop on I-35. My cruiser overheated. You stopped, gave me a jump, waited with me till backup came. I remembered. Vaguely. Oh, yeah. That was you. He nodded. Look, he said quietly, glancing at his partner. Technically, there's no crime here. The car's in your name. Your son has no legal claim. But he filed a complaint, so we had to follow up. He handed me a card. If he escalates this, give me a call. But between you and me, I'll make sure this stays between us. They left. And I sat there, staring at that card, wondering how the hell my life had turned into this. I tried calling Landon. Straight to voicemail. Texted him. No response. 2 days later, I found out from a mutual friend that he'd flown back to Los Angeles. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't leave a note. But when I went into his old bedroom to pack up his things, I found something on the nightstand. Claire's bracelet. The one I gave him after she died. The one he wore every day for years. He left it behind. And I realized. He wasn't just mad. He was done. He hasn't called me since that night. And honestly, I don't know if I want him to. He hasn't called me since that night. If your child vanished after something like this, would you reach out or let them go? Subscribe before the next twist catches you off guard. 3 weeks passed. No calls. No texts. No apologies. Just silence. I went back to work. Back to my routine. Tried to pretend like nothing had changed. But the Honda sat in my driveway. Every morning. Every night. A $20,000 reminder of everything that went wrong. So I decided to sell it. Listed it online. Got a few offers. Set up a meeting with a buyer for that Saturday. But first, I figured I'd clean it out. Make it look decent. I grabbed the vacuum. Opened the passenger door. And that's when I found it. Wedged under the seat. Folded tight. A piece of notebook paper. I pulled it out. Unfolded it. And my heart stopped. It was Landon's handwriting. Messy. Rushed. But unmistakably his. It said, I knew you'd take it back. I needed you to. You were never supposed to see the transfer. I read it again. And again. I needed you to. What the hell did that mean? Below the message, scrawled at the bottom in smaller letters. 1247 Coastal Drive, San Diego. An address. No explanation. No context. Just an address. I sat there in the driver's seat, staring at that note for what felt like an hour. My hands were shaking. Was this guilt? Was it regret? Or was it a goodbye? I didn't know. And that terrified me. Because if it was a goodbye, then everything I'd done, the confrontation, the title change, the silence, it didn't teach him a lesson. It pushed him away for good. I pulled out my phone, typed his number, finger hovering over the call button. But I didn't press it. I don't know why. Maybe I was too proud. Maybe I was too scared. Or maybe I just didn't know what I'd say. So I put the phone down, folded the note, and I kept the car. Canceled the sale. Didn't list it again. Now every time I start the engine, I feel it, like I'm driving a ghost. The leather still smells like the dealership. The odometer's barely passed 3,000 miles. But it doesn't feel new anymore. It feels haunted by a gift that became a weapon, by a son I don't recognize, by a father who doesn't know if he was right or if he just made the biggest mistake of his life. Maybe the real revenge wasn't taking the car back. Maybe it was realizing he knew me better than I thought. He knew I'd react. He knew I'd find that note. And he left me with one final question. What the hell is in San Diego? I haven't gone. Not yet. But that address sits in my wallet, right next to Claire's photo. And every single day, I wonder if I should. If you want to know what I found when I finally went to that address, subscribe. Because that part of the story, it changes everything. Drop a comment if you think I should go, or if some doors are better left closed.